Lesson 5, Round and Round They Go, Investigating the Rock Cycle. You are going to investigate the changes rock goes through by studying the rock cycle. Before we begin, we are going to use 7 terms that may be new to you. Key terms for Lesson 5. Rock cycle, a process rocks go through to change from one kind to another. Below are 2 diagrams showing the process of the rock cycle. We will talk more about the rock cycle later on in the lesson. Our next 3 terms are the 3 different types of rock. The first type, sedimentary rock, rock formed by compacting sediment. Sedimentary rock often look layered. Some examples are sandstone, shale, and limestone. Metamorphic rock, rock formed by heat and pressure. Metamorphic comes from the Greek words meta, means change, and morph, means form. Some examples are marble, slate, and gneiss. Igneous rock, rock formed by cool magma. Igneous comes from the Latin word igneus, which means fire. Some examples are basalt, pumice, and obsidian. Sediment, solid fragments from weathered rock and carried by wind, water, or ice. Magma, molten, melted rock, also called lava when it reaches the Earth's surface. Weathering, the mechanical or chemical process of breaking down rocks into sediments by exposure to the environment. The ocean waves hit the igneous rock and slowly break parts of the rock into the sediments. Background information. In the previous lessons, you have been learning about how the land on Earth moves. You have learned that the Earth's crust is changing and there are cracks in the crust where different crustal plates are crashing into one another or separating from another. At the cracks in the Earth's crust, volcanoes, trenches, and mountains form. All of these landforms are made of rock. Once magma from inside the Earth cools on or near the surface of the Earth, it turns into rock. As soon as these rocks are formed, they begin to change. Before we move on, let's think about 3 questions. Question number 1, how do rocks change? Question 2, do some kind of rocks change faster than others? Explain your thinking. Question 3, what word could you use to describe crustal plates that are crashing into one another? You can go ahead and pause the lesson to answer these questions. You can also review by rewinding this video to see if it can help you answer these questions, or if you need to look in previous lessons to help you answer these questions. Before we move on, let's take a closer look at the rock cycle. A rock goes through many processes in the Earth's crust. Each process is a cause. The effect is the product of that process. The product is a stage in the rock cycle. In the chart below, on the left side we have the cause, on the right side the effect. The cause is the process that happens to the rock. The effect would be the stage that the rock would be at. The first process, weathering and erosion of any rock. The effect would create sediments. The second process, lithification, which is the compacted sediments. The effect would be sedimentary rock. The third process, added heat and pressure. The effect would be the stage of metamorphic rock. The fourth process, melting any rock. The effect would be the stage of magma or molten rock. And the last process we'll look at is crystallization or cooling of the rock. The effect would form igneous rock? How rock changes. Study the picture below. It is a picture of different types of plate boundaries and the landforms that are located there. Study what is happening at the circles and triangles and then answer the questions below. Number 1. Describe what you think is happening at all the circles. Number 2. Describe what you think is happening at the triangles. After you've answered these questions, you are ready for part 2 of this lesson.